Hi dears, today I am going to talk about molecular concept and chemical bonds. And firstly, I'm going to talk about what's the matter, atom, ion, element, substance, and so on. Matter is anything that acquires space and has mass. And chemistry is the study of matter and the changes it undergoes. Matters can exist in three states or four states: solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. Solids are rigid objects with definite shapes. Liquids are less rigid than solids and are fluid. They are able to flow and assume the shape of their containers. Like liquids, gases are fluid, but unlike liquids, they can expand again. The three states of matter can be interconverted without changing the composition of the substance. Upon heating a solid, for example, ice, will melt to form a liquid water. Further heating will convert the liquid into a gas. On the other hand, cooling a gas will cause it to condense into a liquid. When the liquid is cooled, further it will freeze into this solid form. This is ice, water, and vapor gas. A substance is a matter that has a definite or constant composition and distinct properties. Examples are water, silver, ethanol, table salt. Well, table salt also called sodium chloride. And substances differ from one another in composition and can be identified by their appearance, smell, taste, and other properties. A mixture is a combination of two or more substances in which the substances retain their distinct identities. Some examples are air, soft drinks, milk. Mixtures don't have constant composition. Therefore, samples of air collected in different cities would probably differ in composition because of differences in altitude, pollution, and so on. Mixtures are either homogeneous or heterogeneous. When a spoonful of sugar dissolves in water, the composition of the mixture after sufficient stirring is the same throughout the solution. This solution is a homogeneous mixture. And what is the heterogeneous mixture? If sand is mixed with iron fillings, however, the sand grains and the iron fillings remain visible and separate. Substance can be either an element or a compound. An element is a substance that cannot be separated into simpler substance by chemical means. For instance, hydrogen element, oxygen element, hydrogen, oxygen, these elements cannot be separated into simpler substance, but for instance, water can be separated into a simpler substance, hydrogen gas and plus oxygen gas. And this is periodic table. Lithium, sodium, magnesium, calcium. These are metals, and hydrogen non-metals. These are non-metals, oxygen, carbon, sulfur, chlorine, fluorine, and this is noble gases. The structure of atom. Atom consists of proton, neutron, electron. These are electrons, and this is protons. And what is this? This is a nucleus. A molecule is an aggregate of at least two atoms in a definite arrangement held together by chemical forces. Chemical forces also called chemical bonds. A molecule may contain atoms of the same element or atoms of two or more elements joined in a fixed ratio in accordance with the law of definite proportion state. This is oxygen molecule, methane, caffeine, DNA. The hydrogen molecule symbolized as H2 is called a diatomic molecule because it contains only two atoms. Other elements that normally exist as diatomic molecules are nitrogen, oxygen, chlorine, fluorine. These are diatomic molecules. The vast majority of molecules contain more than two atoms. They can be atoms of the same element, as in ozone, which is made of three atoms of oxygen, or they can be combinations of two or more different elements. Molecules containing more than two atoms are called polyatomic molecules. And ion. An ion is an atom or a group of atoms that has a net positive or negative charge. For instance, sodium atom, sodium ion. The number of positively charged protons in the nucleus of an atom remains the same during ordinary chemical charge changes, but negatively charged electrons may be lost or gained. The loss of one or more electrons from a neutral atom results in a cation. This is sodium cation. And an ion with a net positive charge. The gain of one or more electrons from a neutral atom results in an anion. This is oxygen atom. This is oxygen anion. And the ion with a net negative charge. Molecular formula shows the exact number of atoms of each element in the smallest unit of a substance. For instance, hydrogen molecular formula H2, structure formula HH. This line shows chemical bonds. And this is ball and stick model, space filling model. Molecules are too small for us to observe directly. An effective means of visualizing them is by the use of molecular models. Two standard types of molecular models are currently in use: balanced models and space filling models. Types of chemical bonds: first ionic bond, mm, first covalent bond, third hydrogen bond, second covalent bond, third hydrogen bond, fourth metallic bond. And firstly, I am going to talk about covalent bond. Gilbert Lewis' suggestion that chemical bonds involves electron sharing by atoms. What's the covalent bonds? Two non-metal atoms share electrons. For instance, oxygen atoms share electrons. But at ionic bonds, metal atoms loses electrons to non-metal atoms. Sodium atom is a metal atom. Chlorine atom is a non-metal atom. And hydrogen bonds, hydrogen attracts an electronegative atom electrostatically. You see this hydrogen atom attracts an electronegative atom, oxygen atom. And metallic bond, positive metal ions attract conducting electrons. Red dots are conducting electrons, and this is copper ions. These are some laboratory equipment, and I will send you lab safety YouTube video and some laboratory equipment uses. That's all. Thank you for attention.